This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Lost to the fire. The province reveals the Long Lake wildfire destroyed 20 homes in Annapolis County. Sales drop. Trail closures take a toll on businesses that rely on hikers and cyclists. And hockey scholarship. A new award honors the first Indigenous woman to compete for Nova Scotia in the Canada Games.
Increasing clouds on Friday, and we will see a chance for showers on Saturday, but some sunshine this weekend as well. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. 20 homes have been destroyed by the Long Lake wildfire in Annapolis County. Government officials confirmed the number this afternoon. But as the CBC's Andrew Lamb reports, the work being done by firefighting crews in advance saved many more homes.
On Thursday, 20 homes were confirmed to have been destroyed by the Long Lake wildfires in Annapolis County. They were located on West Dalhousie, Thorne, and Morse roads. Although Premier Tim Houston said Monday that homes were lost, officials were waiting to inform all property owners before announcing the exact number. The province says the homes were destroyed on Sunday.
Everything that we didn't want to happen with the weather happened on Sunday. So high winds, low humidity, and the wind direction pushed it back in towards the homes.
Another 11 buildings, like garages on other properties, were also damaged or lost. Emergency Management Minister Kim Masland said more than 250 households have so far registered with the Red Cross. At the same time, officials say the many homes still standing can be seen as a success. Officials credit that success to work done by crews in advance, like deploying sprinklers to douse homes and removing propane tanks and patio furniture.
Crews they haven't left. They've been there from the beginning, and they'll continue to go through and ensure that any of those homes and risks are mitigated and protected.
A community volunteer told CBC that some evacuees have been dealing with a lack of available temporary housing options. Masland could not provide details on what measures might be considered to help with that. She says feedback from evacuees will determine how the province moves forward.
Yesterday, the municipality spent the day calling folks that lost their homes in the wildfire. Today, they are calling everyone who's been evacuated to get a complete assessment of the need.
The municipality of the County of Annapolis is also hiring a navigator from the area to support property owners and evacuees. The program is set to begin on Saturday. Volunteers with the Nova Scotia Guard will be assisting, and people can simply show up at the Bridgetown Fire Hall for this support. Andrew Lamb, CBC News, Halifax.
With bans on hiking and camping still in effect, many Nova Scotia businesses that rely on traffic from the hiking and biking trails are struggling as a result. Kirsten Green has that story.
Once abuzz with hikers, campers, and cyclists stopping in for a quick drink or a bite to eat, this Nova Scotia cafe is now struggling to even fill out its front deck.
Take a look at this parking lot right now. You'll see that there's not many people parking right now. And if you go around the back where everybody would be biking and parking as well, and there's nothing there either.
Train Station Bike and Bean is one of many businesses along the St. Margaret's Bay Trail that has been affected by the province's ban on hiking and camping. Dan Flynn, Bike and Bean's owner, says the ban has cut his revenue by around 50%. Doubling as a cafe and a bike shop, both sides of his business have suffered tremendously due to the trail closure bringing in fewer people, and more specifically cyclists, to the area.
Been eating more into the biking side of the business, but the cafe side has been way down as well.
Neighboring stores, such as Kavicki's Meats, says the ban has also hit them hard. Owner Grant Kavicki says they rely on the high activity during the summer months to sustain them, and he's worried about what this means for him and his employees going forward.
But at the end of the day, we would like to protect our people because they're the face that the audience sees when they come in the door. So we make sure that they're happy, and we've got great people. And so, to cut their hours back it's hard for me. I don't like to do that.
Kavicki adds that while he understands the necessity of the closures due to wildfires, he is hoping for a quick resolution.
We know that safety is first. All we have to do is read the news, and we need to be thankful here. So if it has to stay closed, it has to stay closed. We'll weather through, we'll navigate our way by and come out the other side, and hopefully this will all change very soon.
The province has yet to announce any plans to help businesses affected by the bans. Kirsten Green, CBC News, Halifax.
Halifax Water is urging residents to follow the voluntary water conservation measures requested for the municipality. The utility says water levels at Lake Major and Pockwalk Lake continue to be lower than normal, and despite recent rain, much more precipitation is needed to return to normal levels. Since implementing the measures earlier this month, Halifax Water says they've not seen significant decrease in demand, and without significant precipitation and increased conservation measures, water levels will continue to lower. Yes, so an emphasis on water conservation with so little rain, Ryan.
Yeah, that's right. And we're not getting any help from Mother Nature anytime soon, any significant help anyway. I mean, we will see some showers for this weekend. As we look at the forecast for Friday, it's another nice day. We'll see increasing clouds throughout the day. Temperatures, at least not excessively hot. That's maybe the silver lining here as we look over the next 7 days, is that we're not looking at, excessively hot conditions, though still warm. As we look at the forecast for Friday, there's that increasing cloud. Watching this system that's going to be passing off to our south, that will clip Cape Breton with a few showers. It's this system here that's moving in from the west. That will bring some shower chances in as we move into the Saturday, in fact, as early as Friday night, Saturday morning time frame for those areas, especially in the northwest of the province that have been driest. Showers across the board on the menu for Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. As this low starts to move out, just an isolated chance for a shower on Sunday, and that low moves out even further Monday, Tuesday, and into the first week of school, looking pretty dry as well, Amy. So yeah, conservation going to be key.
Absolutely. All right, thanks for that, Ryan.
Thank you.
Police have charged a man with attempted murder after he allegedly drove a vehicle towards an officer during a traffic stop last night. The incident happened on Main Street in Fairview. Halifax police say the driver tried to ram an officer who was on foot. That officer then drew their gun and fired 2 shots at the vehicle. No one was injured, and the driver fled the scene. Later, police released this image of the vehicle. A few minutes later, police stopped another vehicle they suspected was involved in the incident at a parking lot at the corner of Joseph Howe Drive and Dutch Village Road. 4 suspects were arrested but later released. Police eventually located the vehicle at a residence in Halifax and arrested 32-year-old Corey Nicholas Baker. He appeared in court earlier today. The Dalhousie Faculty Association has rejected an offer of arbitration to end an ongoing lockout from Dalhousie University. Last week, the university locked out the union, which represents nearly 1,000 professors, librarians, and instructors, following months of negotiations. On Wednesday, the university's Board of Governors offered interest arbitration to the union, which would have ended the lockout. But the association said the board did not suggest interest arbitration during the bargaining process and says arbitration would solely focus on wage increases.
The deal came with the understanding that the DFA, the union, would have to drop all of the outstanding issues that are left unresolved, and we're not prepared to do that. Our members have told us loud and clear this is not a fight about wages. Wages are a part of the story. Cost of living is an issue. It's not the only issue.
Westwood says other key bargaining issues include expanded parental leave and child care benefits. The association has also filed a formal complaint with the Provincial Labour Department over the way the board handled the arbitration offer. Nova Scotia's Liberal Party says it will introduce legislation to ban kids under 16 in the province from using social media. The proposal comes as parents, experts, and lawmakers wrestle on how to limit online harms. But how would it work, and can it be enforced? As Deanna Sumanak-Johnson shows us, it's a topic that already has many parents talking and taking action.
Nova Scotia's Liberals say there are good reasons to legislate limits on social media use by kids.
We're seeing higher rates of anxiety, depression, and even suicidal ideation among kids who spend too much time on these platforms. This legislation would set a minimum age of 16 to access social media accounts in Nova Scotia.
In the last provincial election, the Liberals were reduced to just 2 seats, so they would need the support of the governing PCs to pass the bill. Still, the move is significant, says this tech expert.
And it is politically savvy for a party that isn't in power to at least raise it right as everyone is going back to school to make sure that it's front and center on the public agenda.
In December of last year, Australia became the first country to approve a social media ban for people under 16. The ban kicks in later this year, but implementation has been difficult.
You're talking about the government now needing to have a process to collect huge amounts of identification information, thus presenting other issues and risks, for example, around cybersecurity and privacy.
Still, some Canadians believe political support is key in a battle many parents are fighting privately. This mom of 4 is a volunteer with Unplugged Canada, which recently called on the federal government to implement a social media law like Australia's.
Kids can't just walk into an R-rated movie or can't just buy harmful addictive products like cigarettes. And the online world is still the Wild West.
The group is also working on persuading interested parents to pledge they'll delay giving their kids smartphones. The Nova Scotia bill is expected to be tabled in the fall. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
Hockey Nova Scotia announced 2 new awards that honor the achievements of an Eskasoni hockey player. Erin Denny made history at the 2019 Canada Winter Games when she became the first Mi'kmaq woman to represent Team Nova Scotia. As the CBC's Kyle Moore reports, Denny hopes the awards will help encourage the next generation of Indigenous players.
Erin Denny is back where it all began, the Dan K. Stevens Memorial Arena.
There was a girls' ice time here when girls' hockey would have just started, and I told my dad I wanted to join too, so I went for a little skate, and I didn't like it at first, but I think like a year or so after, I just took off flying.
Finds Denny, she scores a beauty!
Denny made history in 2019, becoming the first Mi'kmaq woman in women's hockey to represent Team Nova Scotia at the Canada Games. She went on to play 5 seasons with St. Mary's University. Denny says the sport has opened a lot of doors for her.
It's built me to who I am today.
Hockey Nova Scotia has named 2 new annual awards after Denny that they hope will recognize and inspire the next generation of Indigenous players in Nova Scotia.
There were no scholarships or awards that were reflective of Indigenous communities in the province of Nova Scotia. So that's how this journey began, and we can think of no better individual to honor than Erin Denny of Eskasoni.
Dean Smith says more Indigenous players are hitting the ice in the province. Hockey Nova Scotia is hoping the numbers will continue to grow.
So it's long overdue that we recognize the contributions of Indigenous communities to this game, and we're hoping that this award and scholarship does part of that.
I feel like I've been able to create my own pathway, but through this award and scholarship, I hope that the youth are able to create their own pathways and inspire further generations.
The Erin Denny Award will be presented annually to an Indigenous player who demonstrates outstanding determination and a commitment to leadership, community involvement, and personal growth. A $2,000 scholarship will also be handed out to an Indigenous player to support their educational journey. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Eskasoni.
A Nova Scotia man returned home to find a moving symbol of Canada's wildfires on his lawn. Paul Gray lives about 20 kilometers from the Long Lake fire where it's burning. Gray says there was falling ash near his home, but he also spotted something else, a burned maple leaf. Have a listen.
When I first saw the maple leaf, it kind of made my heart sink. I live in South Greenwood. I actually came home that morning and ash was falling around us, so it's kind of like light flurries of ash, mostly gray and white ash. But as I was walking down the backyard, this black thing on the burnt grass of my dry lawn kind of stood out. It's quite striking. It's like, what's that? I walk over and I look at it. There's a Canadian symbol of the maple leaf laying there burnt. Realizing how far I am from the fire just blew me away that, it traveled that far. I knew it was a windy day and I knew it was going to be a bad day, but that kind of really made it sink in, and it just makes it more real. I thought it was really striking. I said, I got to take a picture of that. Showed it to somebody, my family first, and they're like, wow. Just shared it online and it took off. It's that truly Canadian symbol of a maple leaf, that icon that we all wear proudly, and to see it blackened like that from being burnt to a crisp is, I think that's the moving part, the realization that Canada's burning, that we're all burning.
And we need to issue a correction to an error we made in last night's show. While paying tribute to the recently passed Felix Perry, or Santa Fe, we incorrectly showed a few images of the wrong person, and we apologize for the error. A lovely look and a lot of people at the Halifax waterfront. Ryan's forecast is up next.
This weather update is brought to you by Access Wellness Nova Scotia. Book your appointment today for free, confidential mental wellness support.
We've got Ryan back with his full forecast. So showers on a long weekend, not always popular, but this time we are making a definite exception.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've just need no reminders at all with the special weather statement still in effect. That fire risk continues to be quite high, and we'll start with that. Let's start with the special weather statements. For the air quality statement that's still in effect, Halifax, Lunenburg, Hants, Kings County, and the special air quality statement continues to be in effect for Annapolis County, closest to that Long Lake fire. Now, as we look at the fire danger map, now this is in effect for tomorrow, and you can see for Friday, most of the province in the high risk for fire danger, a few spots in the extreme risk out towards the valley, and even moderate risk for northern Cape Breton. So yeah, we don't really need the reminder, but we'll show that anyway just to hammer home the point that things are still uber dry Despite the recent rainfall, have a look at temperatures. We've got the 22, 23 mark on the board for most, 21 to 23 for most, in fact, and a little bit cooler in those onshore winds today through the Tri-County area. Sable also sitting at 19 degrees. We've got light winds from the southwest, thankfully not too gusty today, but certainly sustained in from the southwest. Beautiful live shot right now. White Point Beach. This is going to be a popular spot likely for this upcoming long weekend. And you know what? The forecast, a little bit of everything for everyone here this weekend, as we will see some sunshine for those hoping to get out. We also are looking at a few showers, which is great. Not enough, but this system will bring something, and it's going to be drawing in some moisture from the south for this system as well. Current temperatures, you can see the heat dome is on out west, and that cool pocket of air continues to be in place across the Great Lakes, and that is the cool pocket of air that will be overhead for us as we roll into the weekend, just keeping temps, in the low 20s. Now, as we look at the forecast for tonight, temperatures are going to be into the low double digits, for the most part, ranging between around 11 and 13 degrees. Could see a couple of single digits by the time we get to tomorrow morning in and around the Colchester County area. Now, for tomorrow, expecting the sun to be quite dominant for the first half of the day, and then increasing cloud cover into the afternoon. The wind's becoming southerly, but we are notably staying dry throughout the day tomorrow. Maybe a late day or early evening shower here across along the Atlantic coastline, but overall, it looks like that wet weather is going to hold off with those shower chances until Friday evening into the overnight. For Cape Breton tomorrow, temperatures ranging between 20 and 24 degrees. The southerly winds for the island near 20, gusting 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. Look at those water temperatures too, 20 degrees in and around Cape Breton. So it will be a great weekend for getting to the beach for sure. A similar story along the Atlantic coastline. Water temps here along the Atlantic coastline near 20 degrees, 20 to 23 degrees, the temperature range for Friday in Central. And back towards the west, we'll see temperatures ranging between about 20 to 24 degrees. Now, into the weekend, and this low unfortunately is going to be passing to our south and won't really be bringing much. Maybe some showers into eastern parts of the mainland and Cape Breton overnight Friday into Saturday morning. We've got a scattered risk for showers beginning Friday night from this system moving in from the west for western areas, but a greater risk of some of those showers tracking in for Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. Unfortunately, this does look like showers. Maybe a couple of heavier pockets, but overall 5-10 millimeters, likely all that will be mustered from this system. Temperatures are going to be ranging between about 20 to 23 degrees on Saturday, a bit cooler in those onshore southwesterly winds. That low moves out to the east, and if you've been watching this over the last couple of days, you'll note that it is definitely looking drier on the backside of this low now. So that's some unfortunate news for the wet weather. As far as the wet weather is concerned, Sunday's really looking set to clear out into the afternoon with a mix of sun and cloud developing. Pretty nice for holiday Monday. And yes, the dry conditions continue into next week with lots of sunshine as the kids head back to school, Amy.
Yep, that's coming up upon us pretty quick. All right, thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
A scientist on PEI thinks waste from processing fruits and veggies could be put to good use. He thinks it may contain new molecules that could be good for humans or our pets. The CBC's Nancy Russell has more on the research.
A research scientist on PEI is looking for hidden treasure in food waste, trying to find out if the same fruits and vegetables that have health benefits when they are fresh may also be valuable when they become waste.
There's a little bit of microbial fermentation and things going on in the wastes that a pristine berry that's coming straight off the plant or straight out of the grocery store doesn't have that metabolism.
McCallum says there is a new interest in waste. It's called the circular economy, trying to find value in every stage of the manufacturing process.
So the Canadian fruit and vegetable growers produce tremendous amounts of waste. There's peels, there's skins, there's leaves and tops. So we're looking at characterizing what chemicals are in there and what they can possibly do to benefit your health.
McCallum has been testing a wide range of products.
Some of them were chosen for volume, like there's lots of apples, there's lots of blueberries in Canada. Some of them are targeted because they're very rich in specific phytochemicals.
One of the products he's testing is this leftover material from blueberries, made into juice at a plant in western PEI.
My big thing was like wondering what we can do to use it, because I feel like there's still a lot of use for it, because there's still fibers and stuff in it. It'd be nice to see it used for something as pet food, or what we can use as humans as well.
McCallum says there's a variety of different health products that could be discovered through the work.
You know, some of it might be nutraceutical type supplements that people take for their health. Some of it could be an ingredient that goes into pet food to help, help your pet live healthier and a longer life.
McCallum says finding something that is useful is complicated and will take years, but he says they're already getting some exciting results.
In the first few passes, we've already are discovering things in there that we can identify. And these are fairly well characterized fruits and vegetables, so finding new things in there is really, really exciting for us.
It's that search for something new that will keep this scientist delving into the waste. Nancy Russell, CBC News, Charlottetown.
Coming up, Nova Scotia's Liberal Party wants to ban kids under 16 from using social media. But how realistic is it? We speak to Unplugged Canada. The provincial Liberals intend to table a bill that would ban the use of social media platforms by children under the age of 16. Liberal House Leader Ian Rankin said that would make Nova Scotia the first province to set an age restriction for social media access. I'm joined now by Jenna Post with the Nova Scotia chapter of the group Unplugged Canada. So why do you think a ban like this one is necessary?
Well, we have a growing body of global research really pointing to that same conclusion, that early and overexposure to social media is causing rates of anxiety, depression, loneliness, and self-harm at unprecedented rates among youth. So, we're seeing a lot more countries moving in this direction, and it's proof that this technology is, while it can be engaging and there can be some community around it, the harms it's causing at scale for youth is just something we need to take a stand on and start protecting our kids.
Well, how would it be enforced, and who would be responsible for doing that?
I think there's some of that still to be worked through. I don't really want to speak to it and leave that to the experts. But if you look at how Australia and other areas are looking at it, they are looking to have some kind of age verification likely to happen. So whether that's being done on the operating system, like Apple and Google are actually working on some technologies to have parents potentially give the age range of their child, so then it then determines on any application what the child will be allowed to use and access based on the age restrictions. And then there's other workflows that we have in our lives today, whether we're going to open up a bank account online, whether we're going to buy alcohol or cannabis online. You have to provide some kind of government ID, and in many times some kind of selfie verification to prove who you are and how old you are. And so, we have some precedent set already on how to access things that are inappropriate for children online. And I think tools like that are being considered to be used.
Some may wonder why parents wouldn't be the ones to determine the right age for their kids to use social media.
I think that is definitely a conversation that's happening among parents. And I think just what we've seen, when smoking started to have age restrictions, when driving has age restrictions, I'm sure there was, pockets of the population that felt that it could have been more of a decision made within a family. But again, the amount of harm that's being caused at scale globally across the world, we just can't ignore the facts and the research and the evidence we have on this. And so this is just now we're getting enough information to say it's time to start set some age limitations on these platforms that are having widespread impact on our healthcare systems and our productivity in Canada, and really just the mental health and well-being of our children and the next generations. This generation here that we have, Gen Z, is the first one that is less healthy than the generation before them. And that's the first time that that's happened.
Any concerns about overstepping parental rights?
I think that there's always going to be, some conversation around that. But again, I see this more, and many people see it as really giving parents, especially most folks are hesitant to give their kids access this early and under that age 16, that it really levels the playing field for families. It actually supports them. And to me, I feel like it actually just takes away the power of Silicon Valley and these big tech companies controlling our kids. I see it more as supporting families and enabling that, because these tech companies are driven by revenue. Their kids are not on these platforms. And the only way to make them change and make these places safer and to make it so that kids are safe is to have this kind of legislation in place.
Now, if this did require collection of personal information, could there be cybersecurity or privacy concerns?
Again, I would leave this up to the folks who are building those products, but there is, again, third-party applications that do this age verification. Many times they don't save that data. They only save the end result as to whether you have been confirmed as your identity or your age or not. So, there's a lot of precedent set that there is less concerns about that because this data is not being saved. And this is something that all of these groups around the world that are working with governments like Australia are taking a look at that and making sure that what does get implemented does have considerations around data privacy and security.
Now, have you had any indication whether this idea has support from the governing Tories?
I haven't spoke specifically with them. I've reached out to some of my, contacts in local MLAs myself. I feel like, if we look at the precedent of what Nova Scotia has been in the past as far as a leader in Canada, whether it was the, restriction of smoking in bars and restaurants or smoking in your car with your kids, Nova Scotia has led the way many times when it comes to these kind of topics, that when it comes to safety in kids and health. So I have confidence that the government of Nova Scotia will take a look at this and want to move this forward, that this is something that Nova Scotia can be a leader on and continue to show that across the country.
Before I let you go, a lot of kids are pretty tech savvy. Any worries they might just find a way around a ban?
I mean, kids these days as well, even with age restrictions on alcohol and other, age-restricted addictive pieces, they can find a way. But when you set these kind of limits, it sets a precedent that this is not appropriate for this age group and under, and it creates those barriers that makes it harder to do. I think you'll never close every gap in any of these situations, but it really just starts to set a precedence in society, changes the norms, and it starts to shift the adoption of it when it just has so many more barriers to get to it.
All right. Well, Jenna Post, thanks so much for your time. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up, a barrage of hundreds of Russian drones and missiles have left many people dead in Ukraine's capital, including children. And the White House says Trump has fired the director of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention because she isn't aligned with the president's agenda. Welcome back. Russia has carried out its biggest assault on Ukraine since Vladimir Putin met with Donald Trump earlier this month. Hundreds of drones and missiles were launched, mostly targeting the country's capital. At least 21 people have been killed and 48 wounded. Among the damaged buildings, European Union offices. Briar Stewart reports from Kyiv.
In the morning light, it was only too clear just how violently lives had been shattered only hours earlier, as stretcher after stretcher confirmed the growing number of dead. Our place was on the 5th floor, said this man, as he watched rescuers try and clear away an area around his balcony. He told CBC News that he had been unable to reach his wife. This was taken from inside one of the apartments after the initial explosion, but more followed.
Residents said that after the missile hit the building, the shelter filled with smoke and some residents headed outside. But a few meters away, there was a second missile strike.
If we get 1 minute later to the underground, we will already dead.
Andre Luti was injured by the second blast when he was leaving the shelter, which he had been going to more often because of the rash of deadly attacks through July.
I'm so hope that our Europe and America and Canada partners will help us a lot, so they understand that humanity reasons is real terrorist actions they did to us.
By that he means Russia. Moscow said it only targeted military factories and bases, but damage was strewn through Kyiv, including at the office for the EU delegation to Ukraine. Condemnation was swift.
This again is a clear signal that Putin, he is willing to continue doing this, continue hitting out at innocent civilians in Ukraine.
The White House said President Trump wasn't happy about the attacks, but wasn't surprised either, and then went on to point to Ukraine strikes on Russia's oil refineries.
These are two countries that have been at war for a very long time.
Trump has said he's considering tougher sanctions on Russia, but that doesn't mean much to the anguished families here. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Kyiv.
The White House says it has fired the head of the top U.S. public health agency less than a month into the job. She was appointed by Donald Trump himself, and her lawyers say only the president can dismiss her. As Lisa Shing reports, the crux of the matter hinges on U.S. vaccine policies.
Susan Monarez, head of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, seemed to clash with U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. According to her lawyers, she was fired because she couldn't get behind sweeping changes the administration is making to U.S. vaccine policy. In a statement posted on X, they said when she refused to rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives and fire dedicated health experts, she chose protecting the public over serving a political agenda. Now, reportedly, the firing comes as the administration tried to pressure her to resign. Have a listen to the administration on this.
This woman has never received a vote in her life, and the president has the authority to fire those who are not aligned with his mission. A new replacement will be announced by either the president or the secretary very soon.
Monarez's tenure has been incredibly short. She was confirmed by the Senate just a few weeks ago. Have a listen to what she said during her Senate confirmation hearing on her beliefs supported by the scientific community.
I think vaccines save lives. I think that we need to continue to support the promotion of utilization of vaccines. I have not seen a causal link between vaccines and autism.
Now, this is just the latest after months of upheaval at the CDC. There have been budget cuts. Hundreds of people have been fired. Earlier this month, a shooter opened fire at the agency's headquarters in Atlanta, killing a police officer. And after the firing of Monarez, several other senior officials at the organization resigned. So the agency has been left without leadership in this period of uncertainty. And a lot of these developments are concerning to the scientific community, saying that medicine is being politicized, considering RFK Jr. is a vaccine skeptic and he wants to limit access to vaccines. And so the scientific community, as well as others, say that all of these actions are concerning for public health and could risk lives in the process. Lisa Shing, CBC News, Washington.
An exemption that allows Canadian retailers to ship their products to the U.S. duty-free is set to end tomorrow. It's called the de minimis exemption and has been in place for decades.
It hits so-called mom and pop shops disproportionately. And many of them who have relied on these low-value shipments to the United States as part of their bread and butter for survival are being hit by this and possibly may have to go out of business because of this.
The end of the duty-free shipping allowance is the result of an executive order signed by U.S. President Donald Trump in July. The White House says the previously exempted Canadian goods will now face all applicable duties. They've been allowed to enter duty-free for decades if the value is under $800 US. Canadian goods not covered under the free trade agreement with the U.S. and Mexico are also still subject to a 35% tariff. U.S. border agents searched a record number of phones and electronic devices at the border in recent months. That's according to their own data. As Sarah Levitt explains, it's part of a broader shift since Donald Trump took office, and Canadian travelers have taken notice.
Nathan Kalman-Lamb says he's not going back to the United States. The New Brunswick professor was denied entry in January, so he got a visa, but still faced trouble in March.
I was taken to secondary detention. They held me there for 3 hours.
Kalman-Lamb says border agents never told him why. He was eventually let in, but says the experience was intense.
They had my phone for 45 minutes. Now, he claimed it was just going to be a very cursory search.
The U.S. Customs and Border Protection says overall searches of electronic devices like cell phones are up nearly 17% from the previous record set in 2022. Between April and June, almost 15,000 devices were searched.
I just became really upset.
Going to visit her fiancé in Maine, New Brunswicker Angela Degel not only had her bags and phone searched.
They had detained me in handcuffs, had me handcuffed down to a bench, and I was just really trying to ask them what was happening.
U.S. authorities say they search phones for a wide range of material, from child pornography to terrorism to evidence of smuggling. But the spike in searches also coincides with Donald Trump's crackdown on immigration, with high-profile arrests, detentions, and deportations.
The border is not doing anything they've never had the power to do. They have always been able to check phones. What we're seeing is an exercise of discretion that's much stricter than ever before.
She suggests Canadians comply with border officials. In June, the number of Canadians traveling to the U.S. was down almost 30% from last year. Some say it isn't just about politics, but worry about how they'll be greeted as they cross over. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Montreal.
A new study is warning that wildfires are erasing decades of improvement to air quality. This is according to the latest annual update of the Air Quality Life Index from the University of Chicago. The researchers say that the area burnt by the 2023 wildfire season was record-breaking, and it's fueled Canada's worst air quality in nearly 30 years. They found that more than half Canadians breathed in air pollution above the national safety standard last year. Canada's solar industry is surging, but as more Canadians consider buying into renewable energy, there's a warning. Complaints of high-pressure sales and unfair pricing are also on the rise. Aaron Collins now on how people shopping for solar panels can avoid getting burned.
This house a little shinier these days.
Well, this is a meter they had changed.
Jay Hector looking to the sun to trim his power bills.
This is the inverter.
This system installed after a solar salesperson knocked on Hector's door. The price tag nearly $50,000 for a small 13-panel, 5-kilowatt system.
I feel betrayed.
But he says it's a price he's since discovered wasn't right.
I'm now learning that people are getting arrays larger than mine for half the price.
Hector admits he didn't do much research before signing. But as more Canadians install solar panels, the industry says complaints from consumers are on the rise.
We're seeing things like false advertising, high-pressure sales tactics at the doorstep,
These are the kinds of things that we try to protect against with our members.
A trend that concerns Alberta's government.
I do know that we have had some complaints. I can tell you that there was a director's order was issued in September of last year against a door-to-door solar company.
That company, Northern Power, ordered, among other things, not to mislead or deceive a consumer. Weeks after that order was issued, Northern Power sold Jay Hector his panels. A deal experts say Hector could have gotten out of.
When somebody is sold a product on their doorstep, they have a cooling off period where they can change their mind.
Here's a wacky thing. I do believe in solar.
Too late now for Hector, who has some advice for anyone else thinking of going solar.
Shop around. Definitely shop around. Don't be fooled like I was with somebody who's dressed very smart, very friendly, all smiles.
For their part, Northern Power declined a request for an interview. But after being contacted by CBC, the company has called Jay Hector, offering him 6 more solar panels at no extra cost. A gesture he says he's still waiting to get in writing. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Calgary.
It's been hot and dry across all of Canada this summer, and researchers say this could have dire consequences for an iconic butterfly. Jaden Dill reports.
The monarch butterfly relies on nectar from plants as fuel for its fall migration to Mexico, but a group of Ottawa researchers say this summer's intense heat and drought conditions could be putting this endangered species at further risk.
Climate change is increasingly on our radar for how it's affecting monarchs. And so again, with a year like this, it has the potential to really decline or decrease the number of monarchs that are making it to Mexico, and then consequently the ones that'll come back.
At a farm near Arnprior, monarchs fly from flower to flower sucking nectar. Researchers from the University of Ottawa are experimenting on 5 plant species in an open field to see how the nectar fares under warmer temperatures. They place netted cages around pairs of plants of the same species, and then enclose one of those plants in a mini greenhouse. So tell me what's happening to these goldenrod flowers right now.
So they're sitting in our warming chamber, our open top chamber, and what's happening is we hope they're experiencing a slight degree of warming that replicates local climate change.
The researchers explained that temperatures in the mini greenhouses rose to 50 degrees during one of this summer's heat waves. The lack of rain has added another layer of complexity.
So far, there's a combination of things. One, it's entirely killed off some of the plants that we've been considering. So in that sense, there is no food from those plants available. There are no flowers. But from the flowers that we still have available, it looks like the sugar and the nectar, the sucrose, is getting to be more concentrated and more difficult to pick up. And so right now we're looking to see how monarchs are going to respond to those flowers that have been under these drought conditions.
To run the experiment, the researchers took 5 monarch butterflies from the area, and from them bred another 300. The experiment ends on September 15th, and some of the monarch butterflies will be released after that. Jaden Dill, CBC News, near Arnprior.
This weather update is brought to you by Access Wellness Nova Scotia. Book your appointment today for free, confidential mental wellness support.
All right, we're back to wrap things up, and you're still combing through that inbox. Lots of great photos.
And more coming in, of course, every day. Thank you to everybody for contributing. Have a look at this one. A beautiful shot, not far from my stomping grounds in Bedford. And you can see this is just a terrific shot.
Oh, my, yeah.
I believe that's a sunrise shot. Kathleen told me, but I loaded this in about 1 o'clock this afternoon. My memory is no good these days.
It's pretty either way.
It is. Kathleen, thank you so much for sharing. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca, and I believe with the angle of that pick, that would be a sunrise shot. Okay, so tonight, quiet. We'll see some cloud cover in the mix, but I think overall, pretty sunny start to Friday. Increasing clouds into the afternoon on Friday, and we've got, you can see that low offshore. That will brush Cape Breton and eastern parts of the mainland with a couple of showers, but it's actually the low further to the west that we have most of our hopes on to bring some showers. And you can see those showers and those blobs of green moving in for the Saturday morning time frame, and then into the afternoon. Maybe a couple of heavier downpours. I think that's what we'll really have to hope for. There's also a slight risk for a thunderstorm here, which we wouldn't want, given the risk of lightning strikes. That low then moves off to the east, and those who have been following along this week will note that by the time we get to Sunday, compared to a couple of days ago, this low is really not looking quite as substantial in terms of those showers on the back side of that low. It's looking drier for Sunday. Unfortunately, for those with, of course, hoping for rain, which we all are. Now, you can see temperatures will be kind of riding into those low 20s over the next couple of days. Similar story for Sunday. And looking pretty dry. Hard to believe the kids are going back to school next week.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay, well, tooth enamel can erode over time, and it's not something a human body can regenerate. But new research in the UK may help people from losing their hair over it.
And with keratin, we've managed to infiltrate early decay and protect the enamel from its loss and rebuilding what you lose on a daily basis. Keratin is present in multiple sources, including sheep wool, human hair, feathers, nails, and hooves. We actually extracted the keratin from the sheep wool.
Well, according to the study, the extracted keratin, when it interacts with saliva, forms a protective coating similar to natural tooth enamel. Early findings suggest developing keratin-based products such as toothpaste or oral gel.
Researchers say further clinical trials are needed to achieve long-term efficiency. The WHO estimates about 3.5 billion people across the world are affected by oral diseases. Start brushing with sheep hair tonight.
There you go. That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.